camera, Tom. Day one, Kentucky.
Going.
Alright, what are we doing, Tom?
We're going in Kentucky. We're going to do some scouting.
Day one, strictly scouting. If we find something smoking hot, we're going to do what? We're going to kill something. Right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. You guys stay tuned. I don't know what kind of mushrooms these are, but they're pretty. Pretty neat looking. Well, we're scouting in Kentucky, and what we found so far is we've come off of a corner. We jumped a deer. We thought we might have jumped it out of this thick pocket right here. Above this is kind of open, and there's a lot of beat down trails above this thicket, but they're all kind of mediocre and random, and some old rub lines, scrape lines, stuff up there on top, which is more open woods. So we wanted to come down here, get a little bit closer to the bottom and run this edge on this bench. You got just multiple trails paralleling this bench, and it ain't very far right down there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a water right down there in that creek bed. So what we're looking for when we're scouting is, number one, diversity. We want to find food, water, and cover in close proximity, and we want to find bedding if at all possible. If we can find a smoking hot feed tree, we'll set up on it. We'll come in from the back door, the wind direction. But we found one good tree they're hitting, but it ain't hot enough. A lot of acorn caps on the ground, but there's not a lot of deer droppings. It's just starting to fall, so I don't know if we want to waypoint that tree or just waypoint this area where the bench is, because there's multiple trees here. You can pretty much get a bow shot at any one of these trees, and the deer just kind of cruising through here searching for acorns. But this is what we're looking at right now, and so far it's looking pretty good. Got a good thick edge, good bench, close to a creek bottom. Food, water, and cover in close proximity. I walk around these woods all the time, and I forget to put this stuff on video and talk about it, but right there on that bench that I was on earlier, we come down just maybe 100 yards or so. We find a major pinch point where all these deer trails congregate together in what I call a pocket. This little pocket goes up inside some thick stuff. You got some blowdown trees that push all the trails together in one location, and it'd be a great afternoon spot in my opinion. There's acorns right there in that pinch where the deer just got everything down, punched down to the dirt nearly. Fresh tracks all over the place, acorn caps laying on the ground fresh. There's browse, there's some honeysuckle, greenbrier in there that they're browsing on, and some kind of other plant, I don't know what it is, browsing on it. You can tell they pinched and bit off everything, and there's a lot of deer activity right there in that little one spot. We waypointed it, and then we're walking down this creek. We ain't gone maybe 75 yards. We found some water right here in the creek. The deer are really not hitting the water like I thought they would, so we're going to circle back around and check the benches on the other side of this ridge. Looks like it's going to get in some pretty thick stem count up here. We're kind of on the edge where it starts to open up and turn into real pretty woods. I kind of want to stay out of that. I know I'm in Kentucky and these deer ain't pressured real heavy and they might walk across there, but I'm still from Alabama, and I've learned to hunt this thick stuff. So this is what I'm going to stick to. It's what I know. Did you see him?
Oh yeah.
Did you get a good look at him?
Yeah. He's perfect.
He's perfect?
Yeah.
That's perfect size for you, huh?
Yeah.
We're on the other side of the ridge from where we waypointed. You see another deer?
Yeah. It may be the same one. It just turned back to the right.
We just saw a deer, a velvet spike. Got really tall spikes. I was trying to get him on video, and he's just looking at us, watching us. He come right down that trail, the tree we just waypointed. I said, well, that's a pretty good sign. We got deer on it already. We ain't even left the spot. Can't beat that. He's running off. I guess we're making him too nervous. Gonna continue scouting. Well, we found Tom's spot. He's all excited about his spot because every deer trail within a quarter mile goes to his spot. We jumped deer out of his spot. We saw deer in his spot, and they came back to his spot. Do you like your spot, Tom?
Yep.
Why can we not find me a spot?
It's here.
We're having a hard time finding a spot at least half as hot as what his spot is. But we may have located something right here. A lot of trails coming to this water hole here. Maybe we'll check it out. I might have found my spot. Well, this watering hole looked very promising, but these deer are just not keying in on water. There's no fresh tracks around this water hole. May not be good running water. There's running water over there where Tom's at. And a lot of deer activity over there drinking water, so they probably don't need to come over here on this side. We're several hundred yards away from his spot. I'm gonna keep on going. Gotta be something over here besides the one spot. That's why you scout. You gotta find them. They ain't gonna jump out at you. Well, we've walked up on the elusive box turtle. He's hiding from us. I see you in there. We're a pretty good ways away from where Tom's hot spot is. The more we scout, the more we realize he's in a smoking hot spot. But I have found a spot here. I got a bench coming around here. It's pretty thick, a lot of stem count, top edge. Deer are using that trail. I got a ridge over there. Got some white oaks and red oak stuff dropping over there. It's more open ridge, but there's a trail kind of in the draw and coming off that finger ridge up there where it's a little bit thicker. And all them trails meet together right up there about 75 yards from where I waypointed a tree for a potential tree stand spot. And there's a scrape there, and it's not really super fresh, but this time of year deer just kind of, go around and they might check a scrape. If I see a buck down in here feeding around on acorns, he knows there's a scrape up there. It's just thick enough in the edge of what I call a scrape hub, where all the trails meet together. I might be able to grunt him up there to me in that spot, so I'm looking at that potential. As maybe it ain't the best spot to sit on, but maybe I could actually call a deer to me. There's so many scattered acorns in here, it's hard to pin it down to one hot tree. They're not really mutilating any one spot just yet. If they are, we haven't found it. Gonna continue on. So far, aside from Tom's hot spot, I found two other locations. Scrape hub we talked about earlier, and it's just a bunch of trails coming down to points in a creek crossing. But walking back out, I found a good bench running the side of a ridge. Got a lot of acorns on it. It's real thick above the bench, kind of open below the bench. Got water below the bench. And I found a particular area, series of ditches where the acorns are falling. I jumped deer out of that spot. So I walked over there and looked around. They got all the leaves punched in, fresh acorn caps on the ground. So it's my number 2 spot. Unless I find something better than that's probably be where I set up. That's it.
Expecting to see more than what I seen, but I guess we was closer to the road than I thought.
Well, it ain't. Once that rut kicks in, you'll see sign everywhere. It'll all light up, but
yeah,
this time of the year, you got to look for them little bitty small areas.
Yeah.
You notice as soon as we go out of that small area where you're at, all the deer sign just peters out. It ain't no deer sign. I mean, you find scattered here and there. So this time of the year, early season, you're just looking for those
little
pockets, I guess what you want to call it, concentrated areas where the deer stay focused. They got everything they need.
Yeah.
We went east, west, north, south. We did a figure 8 all the way around that thing.
Yeah.
You got a horse fly on your throat. That's what's biting you?
I didn't even feel it.
Man, he's tearing you up.
I told you.
You tough. You couldn't even feel that horsefly
Hardcore
biting you on the throat.
done one.
That's a man right there. All right, let's get out of here. You did have one deer snort at you.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Yeah.
Said,
Don't
"Shoo,
kill me."
you stink.